Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans News. There's a bit of news that I thought we would nudge, wink, wink, talk about on a Sunday afternoon. Sunday morning up with the lark. I think I'll go for a walk in the park. We might need a hackathon. No, but there is a. I thought we would. There is a bit of news coming out from Kyogo's agent. He has done an interview. Now, remember Kyogo Furuhashi signed a brand new deal with Celtic back in. It came out, it was detailed on the 6th of July 2023 that this kind of story broke. It was the 5th day. Kyogo Furuhashi has ended speculation about his future by signing a new 4-year contract with the Premiership champions. That was back in 2023. It made sure that he was contracted with Celtic until 2027. Now, everyone will remember at that time, Kyogo then changed agent to Joe Panic. Looks like panic to me. Joe Panic, who was the head of Japanese operations at the CAA base. Now, he had been in post since 2008 until present. He's been there a long time, based out of London, but he wanted his hands on Kyogo. He has been speaking. They are not. Get in. We need to talk about Kyogo. We need to talk about Kyogo. I need to get this bit of the story out first. So Kyogo's agent did an article in the Sunday Times, Inside the Secret World of Modern Football Agents, with agents Leon Angel and Joe Panic, who lift the lid on transfers and how they help players. The best football agents, he goes on to say, tend to have a few transfer stories, including ones with Arsene Wenger, Diego Maradona, etc., etc. He goes on for a while. They talk about the CAA agency that was founded in 1997. And the CAA base has now more than 700 clients. But then the interesting bit is you click down the story a bit, because this is the guy. He's very... These type of people do not have social media. I've tried to look them up even on LinkedIn. No picture. These guys do not like to get their photographs taken, except when it's with the right celeb at the right time. Dodgy looking character, if you ask me. And then you've got to scroll right down the article. The pressure to produce some magic every 12 to 18 months for the player, he says, with incentives for agents to agitate for a transfer or a new contract is duly obvious. We're an easy target, says the agent. But then he goes to talk about Kyogo Furuhashi. He talks about other big transfers that's taken place, but the agent will be putting feelers out with interest last summer, having spoke to Kyogo. And Kyogo was entering the later stages of his contract, which was running out in 2027. So he still had 2 years to go on his contract, so Celtic could have sold him in the summer. But it was clear that Kyogo was ready to leave Celtic. He wanted to do amicably after scoring 85 goals and 165 appearances for the club. My job is then to understand what the players' objectives are. This is where he talks BS, if you ask me. And why did Kyogo then go to a team that's going to get relegated? And this is where he kind of contradicts himself. It's my job to understand what the players' objectives are. We had teams from all over the world express an interest in Kyogo. There are certain markets where it would have been very lucrative contract and sporting ambition would have been realistically achieved, in particular with the World Cup in 18 months in mind. Then we had to speak to Celtic and to understand their perspective, because the club has no desire to lose a player halfway through the season, he says. The conversations that took place about 2 months before the window opened ensuring Celtic had time to finalise the deal for a replacement. And only then was Furuhashi able to complete his 10 million move to Rennes in League One. Interesting that he put that it was only when Celtic said that they had a replacement, he wanted to, he was allowed to go. So what happened? What fell through? These things are never easy, it goes on to say. The clubs will often talk directly at a certain point, and the big number will be agreed. But then the dates of the payments, bonus structures, sell-ons, percentages, and all the small points become a sticking point, says Kyogo's agent. There's no travel booked without the permission of the club. There are usually part medical at a hospital and then the training ground. And then there's a cardio workout, blood tests, and general checkup. Some clubs are very stringent, others not so much. And then there's a final check on the paper when the lawyers come in, and at that point the media team will take the player off to get some photos, etc, etc. So it was interesting that it says that the deal for Kyogo, I mean, we all know that Brendan Rodgers come out and said, look, this has been going on for a couple of months. But it was interesting that he said, that Celtic only allowed it to happen when they were told that they had a replacement. So what happened in this window? What happened in the window that just passed? Did they think that they had a deal for Mateus in the bag, and then it was changed at the last minute? And by that time, Kyogo was like, I'm walking away, I'm going now. So it was interesting that happened. Meanwhile, back in the world of Scotland, it's Scottish Cup weekend. It is Scottish Cup weekend. And there seems to be a bit of a meltdown going on in one part. In one part of Glasgow. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. Oh, can it really happen today of all days? Can the unthinkable happen? Let me just see if I could find one of them. Not done this for a while. Let's see. Why are none of them live?
Hello everybody, Martin here with your...
Why is none of them live? So spam sites. PL Sports. Two seconds. None of them are live. What are they? I take it they've all given up. Hackathon. Oh, there's me live. Is any of that Monkey Mob live? Give us a hat back. I'm trying to find one of them live. Martin, wipe your ass. There's none of them seem to be live. Do we have a clue if any of them are live? Maybe they're all just doing it in private now. No, that's not. That's just a computer generated one. There's too many of these. Computer generated ones are. Ronnie gameplay. Just all computer generated ones. They must have had the fear of God put into them. Might it be one of them live, surely. Nope. BBC Sports Sound Bars. Jesus, there's none of them live. We'll hang about. We'll hang about because surely they'll go live after the game. Surely they'll go live after the game. They're all hiding somewhere. Members only. See, live comms. From members only. They're doing it members only. They've went all their lives of members only content. The paranoia. They're not getting hackers, it's members only. Members only. So it's not even a case of subscribers. They're not even letting their subscribers to the channel listening. Have they scored? At the same time, I'm not switching it on. I'm never going to switch it on. Is there any replays in the Scottish Cup? At this stage, it's not a replay. It just goes to the away ground, doesn't it? I'm still here fighting Fenian. Mr. Quinn, how are you? I hope you're good, mate. I hope you're good. I'm glad I hope you're good. Just seen your comment there. I hope you're good, mate. I think they've cottoned on to us laughing at them. Yeah, they've all cottoned on to us laughing at them. But we'll keep listening in because there's only a couple of minutes to go. We'll go into the land of Twitter and see what they're saying. The meltdown has begun. Hopefully the goal will get Clement the sack at last. Thank goodness they aren't amateur status anymore. Horrific. Fans and the board who back Clement are wankers. They are the enemy of the club. We are ass. There's a few of them absolutely no happy at all. No happy. The majority is Celtic fans obviously laughing at them. The knives are out. Rangers can't buy a goal. Meanwhile, Ben former youth striker knocking Liverpool at the FA Cup. Come on, lads, where are yous? Can't believe that they've put their they've put their lives to
Hello, everybody.
There has to be a Rangers. There has to be one of them live. Surely to God, man. They've all caught on. They don't want the hackathon to happen. What is it? Look back at the staunch. I'm trying to open that. I'm going to open up a few of them. I'm actually just trying to. There is none of them live. How many minutes have we got to go? It says 90 minutes. Queen's Park have had one shot on goal and one shot on target. 38% possession. Rangers have had 24 shots, 6 on target. 24 shots. They've all smashed their laptops. Game goes to extra time. Well, let's just hope that it doesn't go to extra time. How many minutes of extra time will he hold? If you hate Sevco, clap your hands. If you hate Sevco, why aren't they? They're all hiding. I cannot find a single podcast live. They've all went underground. Oh my goodness. What was that? Is it time? 5 minutes extra time. 5 minutes extra time, I've just been told. 5 minutes extra time, WhatsApp's just told me. 5 minutes stoppage time. Oh, Jesus. Hoopy, we started off the video. You need to go back to the beginning and watch it because the Kyogo's agent spoke to one of the media today. He spoke to I think it was the Times, and I read the article out, and it was interesting that Kyogo's agent said that this, and you've got to remember that Kyogo's agent, Kyogo changed. The reason that I looked into it is because Kyogo's changed his agent. It was about 2 months after his last contract. Now, at the end of this season, Kyogo still had 2 years left on his contract. So why couldn't he have made the move at the end of the season? It was interesting. Queen's Park doing a walk on. Keep it for that Stevie Fool. I'm keeping. Oh, they haven't scored. Please tell me they've not scored. Boo incoming. Sevco going out. Sevco going out. None of their podcasts are going live. That's a crap one. 4 lads had a dream. And if they are going live, they're playing crosses along the back. I've just been told. Crowd are going mental. They're playing crosses across the back. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, come on. We need to find one of their... They're not going to go live, are they? They're not going to go live at all. None of them.
Hello, everybody. Martin here.
Members content only. All their content's been it's been members only content. They're not going to go live. They're not going to do it because all their stuff for the past week, all their content's been members only. Shite bags. We need the manager to say this is actually going to happen. Come on, you Queen's Park. Come on, it's 3 minutes. It's 2 minutes to go. Come on. Do I put it on? Let's see if we can. What station is it on? Is it on the TV? Let's get it on. Let's put it on. Surely they cannot score now. Right, I'm on 93 minutes. Now, I'm on 93 minutes. Don't jink it, Baz. Tell me about it. I've got it on Sevco TV. I've just put. Oh, look at the stadiums. Oh, there are fans of this. Oh, that was some save by the keeper. Queen's Park keeper's just made an absolute cracking save. Come on, Queen's Park. Come on. Oh, perfect. We Adam Montgomery. How's Adam Montgomery? I'll be loving this. Right, we're gonna get the boos. 1 minute remaining for Sevco to go out the Scottish Cup. 1 minute remaining. I am going to turn the volume up in just around a second or so. Ha 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 ha. No chance. It's 94-23. I'm on 94-23. 94-23. Just kick it out, that's it. Just keep it out. Just keep on doing that. Keep on doing that. Come on. That's it, goes out. Oh, no way. No way. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's not a penalty. VAR checking it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. To stay in the cup. Why is it getting delayed? You're spoiling it. You're spoiling it. Here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. Oh, come on. Tav. Tav. Oh. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Let's get the booze. Let's get the volume up for the booze. There's a lot of VAR check. No way. No, he's not. He's got 1 foot on the line. His other foot was on the line. Right, we're ready.
The right foot was still touching the white line. The corner it is, in from Tierney. Somebody attack it and get it in. Oh, and the keeper again with the most wonderful of touches. Flicks over the bar after Cropper's header with net round. Well, we're not asking for a man in the match today, but I'm sure there's the other media outlet will award it to Callum.
Come on, blow the whistle, ref. 98 minutes. There was only meant to be 5 minutes of extra time. Listen to the booze.
My thanks to Ian Donners for joining us today. Thanks to you too for joining us on Rangers TV. We'll be back next week, back in league action against Hearts. Today, it's a day that we will remember for a long, long time. Since Rangers never been
Oh my goodness. The boos cry out, surrender, surrender. The treble is on. Bye, bye, Rangers. Oh, WhatsApp's gone daft. Oh my goodness, man. Absolutely hilarious. Now let me try and find, let's see if any of them dare go live. They'll all be hiding. None of them will go live. None of them. they're all on. They've all disappeared. So the big news of the day is Kyogo's agent came out and spoke to the media. I can't find a single one of them. I think they've all blocked me. And there's no one of them going live. There's no live reaction from any of them. Can any of you find a live reaction? They don't do walking away. It's hilarious. The boos were absolutely hilarious at the end of that game. Your beauty. The Rebel Treble is on. A young Celtic player has just beaten the Sevco. Yes, the Rangers are out of the Scottish Cup, and Rangers TV finished awfully quick there. Awfully quick. And it was, actually might piss myself. Queens keep, talk about the Queens doing one over the Rangers, Jesus. I wonder if they'll shout for the Queen tomorrow. Anyway, let me try and see if I could find it. It's members only content. They're going down the road in members only content. Yeah, they're in hiding. They are in hiding. Oh, here we go. There we go. Could this one be one? Come on, come out of hiding, you lot. Oh, I know who might be live. Nope. None of them are live. Oh my goodness. Not one of them are live. They're all shite themselves. We need to hang on a bit. Queen's Revenge for HM. The Queen's Revenge. They're too busy spiralling into despair. They are that. No trophies for Sevco. I wonder, the Queen is alive and well. She's came out. The zombie Queen has come out to kill the Rangers off. They can win absolutely nothing. God save Queen's Park. It's the only time that any Celtic fan will say God save Queen's Park. Watch me very offer. Queen's Park have put Rangers out the cup. We did come on. We were doing a serious video about Kyogo Furuhashi's agent, but Rangers have went out the cup. So there's a bit of good news when it comes to. Let me just close down these screens. I need to try and find one. Surely some of them, one of them has to be alive somewhere. One of them has to be. Not one of them are alive. Shite bags. It's like, I'm not going live. That Baz will be on waiting to take a pure piss at us. Jers podcast, Jers net. I cannot. If any of you can find them, any of them live, minus 13 raging out the cup. This has to be the funniest day ever. Has to be the funniest day ever. And the total views have just hit 1697. Let's jump onto the land of Twitter. If there's no better place to find them absolutely raging, and it will be the land of Twitter. So we'll go into the land of Twitter and we'll see what they're saying there until one of the YouTubers come out of Rangers full time. Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1. And it's just a load of Celtic fans laughing. I'm trying to find a Rangers comment, to be fair. Sack that clown now. Hound the fucking board out also. The result highlights the Fenian cable of referees who are running Scottish football. You've got a penalty and you've missed it. Says Phantom 55. Phantom 55. You're right, it was a Phantom 55. It wasn't a real 55. Rangers have a small chance of VAR reining them in, but cup games, it's impossible. Get Clement gone, the baldy. He needs to go. He needs to go. That's it. Get him out. Not good. Not good at all. Make Rangers great again. Is this guy for real? Make Rangers great again. I I wonder if the Union Bears will go around the front to have a little bit of a... I'm disappointed in one of the podcasts. Here we go. 6:45. I'm no waiting around 15 minutes for them. I'm going to have to, aren't I? The podcast isn't coming on for another 15 minutes. And I bet he puts it to members only. He's currently got it public. Here we go. Aldo, RFC. Laughable, ain't we? We're a laughing stock. GS says, at what point do we start talking about Brazilian? He's letting us down. One shot, one kill, basically. Perpetual failures, says JB 1872. I'm ashamed to be supporting this dross. We are the people, 1872 says. Deserved. Can't score a corner. And we concede one. I'm shite, man. Another one. We are not in a position to play these games as a project. No first team signing has left us flat. Now, nothing to play for. Nothing! Well, that's the season well and truly over, and it's February, for sake. It's beyond a joke now, says Blue Nose Bob, 1872. And it's only subscribers that can Surely Clement can't survive this, says Psychometric. Let's see if we can find another one live. There has to be one of them live, surely. Rangers reaction. Nope. None of them are live. This is weird. They've all went into hiding. They're all under their pillows. They're all under their pillows. There is not one Sevconian podcast live. Unbelievable. Right, badge. I need to wait. This will be a screamer. I'm going to have to wait, because I'm going to wait and see if I've got a funny feeling he's going to change it. It's got 9 minutes to go. I think Clement has to go now. Sorry, says Aldo. Bob says, finished at the start of February. Get rid of these wasters. Board, manager, players, the lot. That's what happened. We went into liquidation. Blue Nose Bob, 1872. We are the people, 1872. I wanted Clement gone in November. He's got us to the top 8 in Europe. Some fans thought it was enough. I still wasn't happy. But it was accepted. The board will probably wait until the summer. Sack him now. Shocking. The worst. This is the worst. PC will remain. Phil Clement will remain with his job. Ibrox has to be permanently empty now. They're going to boycott. That's youth will never make Ibrox. 0-0 at half time. Rice gets hooked. Diamandi nothing all day. What a shitty day, says Aldo. FC. What a shitty day, says Aldo. FC. We are waiting to see if some of the podcasts will go live. It looks like they're all in hiding. Yeah, they are all. There's not one of them. No, not that I'm having to do a search here. It's not as if I'm subscribed to the mother. Usually you would just do like a Rangers podcast live, and one of them would come up, but none of them. They're all hiding. They are all hiding. They're all coming on at 6:45. I found another one that's coming on at 6:45. Yes. Ha 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 ha. We've got the hackathon coming on. The hackathon is coming on. Irish Republican. The biggest meltdown ever is on its way. Make sure that you stay tuned. 2 idiots will be hiding from Fog Football. Oh, Fog, I never thought about them. Why didn't I not think about them?
Is
Fog Football. Big Stevie Cool. Come on, Stevie, where are you? Come out, wherever you are. None of them are going live. We've got a couple of them that are going to go live in the next 6 minutes. I've got 2 that's going to go live in the next 6 minutes. Let's read out some of the comments before. I think one of them might go private. He's not done it yet. Can we ask what certain players doing? Now watch the number of viewers double. Ha ha! Where are they when we win a game? Tav's arse absolutely fell out his shorts as soon as the whistle blew for the penalty. Said it straight away. Absolutely woeful. What the fuck did we sign Kelly for? Can we bring in some women into the lineup? Can they finish? We'll finish you off. Linda says, man of the match for Plymouth, 17 headers and clearances. Not good enough. Join our push. Championship club beat us at Ibrox. No way can Philip Clement be in a job tomorrow. I'm raging, sir. I'm fucking raging, sir. I'm absolutely raging. Big Chewy. Baz, this is far too sweet. Fake Rangers getting knocked out by QPR. The whole of Farmer Tav's penalty saved in the end. QPR haven't beat Rangers in the Cup in over 120 years. Wow, 120 years. Big Chewy, thank you for that. Wow, I didn't know that. 120 years. There is a couple of podcasts going live in the next 5 minutes. Big Stevie Cool is in hiding. Big Stevie Cool is in hiding. I'm not going to name the ones that are going to go live. Don't go jumping onto their channels because they might go and put it private and members only. February and the season is over. Sad to be honest. Championship side just beat a UEFA last 16 side. How can that happen? McInnes in tomorrow. I hope they get McInnes in. I really do, because McInnes can't beat Celtic either. So it'll be brilliant if they get McInnes in. Aldo's raging. Aldo RFC. Jers forever. Jers forever. Yeah, fucking February, man. The station's done and dusted. Tav must be angry with the warm-up. We are the people. it's got 120 years. And they're doomed. They are doomed. Treble incoming. The treble is incoming. I don't think there's any club in Scotland now that we're really. I mean, it's a freebie, isn't it? It is a freebie to the final now. Really. I mean, I hope we get Aberdeen in the final. Oh. Who's this guy? We might have found a live one. That's a gameplay one. Ah, fuck. He's got hundreds of live games. No. Four minutes to go. Aston Villa. What is it with all these computerized game ones that are shown? It's not even like the real game. Absolutely shocking and embarrassing. Passing was shocking. Subs were baffling. Tav's missing. Wow, sums up our season, says Craigie boy. So we are waiting on 2 channels. 2 minutes and counting. Wonder if the Baldy will talk about budgets in his interview. He talk about budgets. Budgets. The lurkers are in. Don't go onto their channel. Stay away from it. Stay here. Man, we'll do the hackathon. The hackathon will hear everything that you need to hear. Don't give them the bonuses. Oh my goodness. Tex has gone absolutely bonkers, man. All right. You kind of, the worst thing is they know that I'm live and they're sitting watching this and they're WhatsApping me. The lurkers are in. I'm just waiting to see if this Egypt turns it to members only. If it turns it to members only, we'll not hear a thing. But there is another one that is live. Big Stevie Cool is he's just not even just doing anything, is he? He's like, I'm not going online, man. Baz will be like I'll just see. He's not going to go live. 120 on its way, and the irony. Celtic are on the road to 120 titles, and it's 120 years since Rangers were beaten by the team that beat them today. There's a bit of right, here we go. Time to hackathon. More Tims on here than you know. Keep doing us, Aldo. And you know their team will keep doing us. Never look like scoring. We're no winning the Europa. Well, no winning the Europa. I actually think that they're going to try and win the Europa. That's the irony of it. Jesus, I can't keep up with the comments there. Give me a second. Big Chewy, Rangers. The Rangers Journal are live. Right, let's get that one. There we go. We have one live.
Penalty. The blame lies with the manager because ultimately it's him that puts the players out the park. Then the players have got to go out and carry on.
We have our first hackathon live.
His instructions and play to the best of their ability. We've got the second biggest budget in Scotland, right? And we couldn't beat Queen's Park today. This is like. Honestly, like I say, the significance and the height of this and what's going to be said about these players, everything.
Who's that?
Tomo, and as you say, congratulations to Queen's Park on a magnificent
Scottish Cup, as we lost to second division side Queen's Park at home at Ibrox. It was 10 days ago, literally, where I was on this stream on Cloud9 after Rangers got to the top 8 of the Europa League and qualified straight to the last 16 of the competition. I spoke about how ambitious the club could be in the Europa League. I spoke about how, we're turning a new tide and we're looking like a better team. And I felt that, we could go and make a serious impact within the Europa League and go and...
To my detriment, the people actually having a go at me, and I was thinking to myself,
hey there, you.
What just been reactionary? Yeah, we didn't really bring anybody in January, but look who we get out. Look at the youngsters we're bringing into the team. Give them 45 minutes, you take them off, and then you play worse. So look at that. No monologue today, folks. No long spouting, me shouting and screaming about how terrible Rangers are. I'm going to try my best to keep my cool today, but it's not going to be easy because that was atrocious. That was worse than what we have seen a lot of this season. And in Patrick Stewart's own words, it has to get better.
Probably clean up the only trophy that we could possibly get our hands on domestically this season, that being the Scottish Cup. And we I'm lost for words. Firstly, there is no excuse for Rangers.
There isn't an excuse for Rangers. They shouldn't even be there.
Has it got better?
Better?
I'm joined today, unfortunately for them, by Aaron.
The One Celtic Fans View, mate. You're joined by the One Celtic Fans View.
And Kenny, obviously you were on the watch along. So Aaron, mate, I'll just let you jump in. Before I do, Why ask for this at this time? But if you enjoy the stream, please like and subscribe. Follow us across all socials. Links in the description. Get your comments in. We've got quite a lot of people watching for obvious reasons. So I will try and get as many comments up as I can. Aaron, your thoughts, please, on Rangers crashing out of the Scottish Cup. The last
got more
trophy
folk
we
than
had
me watching.
to go
Jesus,
for, by the way, in
ridiculous.
Scotland.
Come on.
The Queen's Park at home.
Like I said to you before we came live, Rangers are very good at this, and they have been over the last few months. Lure us into a false
But the meltdowns, we know.
sense of security. They seem to get a bit of consistency. They seem to be winning games quite comfortably.
And then they just do our Rangers.
Scoring a lot of
Our Rangers, the new Hibs.
goals, things we haven't seen. And here we are again.
Yeah, here we are again. Let's listen to these guys.
Everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It was saying in commentary that Queen's Park hadn't beat us since the 70s and 80s, and that was the 1870s and 1880s. So, 150 years, 140 years.
Rangers, that was the old Rangers.
And they've come to Ibrox and beat us. Second half, as you mentioned, Bailey Rice came off at half-time. Thought it was a little bit harsh. I thought he wasn't brilliant first half, but nobody was. But he hadn't done really anything wrong.
What a shame.
To lose to a lower league team, that just doesn't happen. And even if it does happen, those freak occasions, they certainly cannot be at Ibrox, our home, our fortress supposed to be.
Fortress!
We've lost at Ibrox to a second division team.
Yes, you have. Know your place. Know your place.
Here we are again.
Yes,
we're
here we are
facing
again.
A really, really bad defeat. And it's not only a bad defeat, like you said, it's the last chance of silverware
That's
for our
the
season.
last chance of silverware.
What have we got to play for now? In my eyes, Europe. We do so well in Europe. We do so well
We do.
against bigger teams in the league. And then these mediocre teams, and no disrespect to Queen's Park, they set up, they had a game plan, they executed it from first whistle. But where's the goals gone? Where's the confidence gone?
No idea. Let's see what this guy's saying.
Dessers came on for, again, Bajrami. He was, again, fits and starts. But I think second half...
It's going to come to them now as well. If they don't make this decision that needs made, there's not even a decision to be made, Tomo. See if you've got a manager in charge that's bringing on a left back for your most creative player, and he's been my most creative player since he came back into the team. The upturn in performances, results, it's all there to see for Yanis Hadji.
It's there to see.
This is as humiliating as it gets, and Rangers managers don't survive humiliations against smaller or lower division teams. It just doesn't happen, and no manager would be safe after something like that, despite Philippe Clement's very, very rocky season so far. Now, it's frustrating because every time I feel I come onto these streams after bad results and discuss this team and think, I want a new manager and all these kind of things, we go on to a bit of a run, and I look like I'm second guessing myself, and I'm going, was I right about that? Do we actually need a new manager, or are we just going to trust the process and trust that it's going to get better and better? And sometimes I'm like, yeah, it does. And you get days like that Union Saint-Gilles match where we defied the odds essentially with our Europa League phase path. Still get us through over the line. We get a last minute penalty and we miss it.
We get a last minute penalty. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
How can you be banging in goals left, right, and centre, and then end up not being confident to take a shot? Egerman was in a few positions today where he could have taken a shot. The only option that we had was playing it over the top.
Basically showed that your Hearts, who's next up in all these teams, what you really need to do if you want to take the spark out of us. It's got to fall, not solely, but a large percentage on the manager now. Completely and utterly tear us to shreds. And seriously, and I know there'll be Celtic fans, rightly so, because we would be the same, digging into us about it. But it's farcical now. We don't want to.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's no farcical. It's absolutely brilliant.
He's come in with a bit between his teeth. He's a point to prove, and he's pro. But overall, for fee and stuff we've paid, why bring him on for Yanis Hadji?
No idea.
Queen's Park got their goal.
1 shot on target, 1 goal. Rangers, 24 shots on target, no goals.
Towards the end, we started showing some urgency. You know, when we got into injury time, we're getting the ball forward quicker. We're getting it into the box.
Yeah, so cares.
It's humiliating. It's a humiliation.
It's humiliation.
It's a humiliation.
It's all I need.
We're out of the Scottish Cup. Now, what does this mean?
Humiliation is all I need.
Philippe Clement. Now, I don't want to sound like an absolute idiot because I'm constantly on here, and I was prior to Christmas going, look, Philippe Clement needs to go. Philippe Clement needs to go.
No, needs to go.
Like that no Rangers manager, there'd be question marks over any Rangers manager if they got a result like that. And family, and you're thinking that there's no way back.
Yeah, there is no way back. Close the door behind you on the way out.
Turn into the Man Uniteds anymore. We're through. We're finished. It should be fighting for titles. No. The title's done and no trophies by, as you were saying, Martin, February
and no trophies.
So it has to fall somewhere, and unfortunately, the money has been spent, as you corrected me, Martin. You're right. When you read through it, your Diamandis and your Baramis and all that. It has to fall at the manager now. We have to get a change, some sort of change, and new ideas, harder to beat, a bit of an identity, and just take it forward because...
They're like the old VHS advert, aren't they? Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Show your age now, Baz. Show your age now. Anyway, let's get back to Mr. Morbid.
And then all of a sudden he goes on a run.
Yeah.
And then you're back down to square one. So when's enough? And when are we actually going to see us implement the changes that have been spoken about? It's frustrating. Come on, let me know your thoughts on the game in general.
Who cares?
But if there's any Rangers fans here...
If there's any Rangers fans here, say hello. Hello.
That want to say something. I think David Bruce has come through. So take your chat up. He says, it's a total disgrace. Losing to Queen's Park, especially at Ibrox. We need a complete clear out, including the manager. Now, again, I'm not one of the...
Boys, it's not funny anymore. It's now, you know, if you watched that, you thought that was a first division game.
Oh no!
You thought the best team
Valentine's.
or a top team in the first division was playing the middle of the table.
Gotta sit down and smoke a pipe
And
now.
the middle of the table got a result against them. That's no Rangers. And we've not been Rangers for a very, very long time. And now I'm fed up saying, but we've had a good run in Europe and we've done well for 3 games in a row. Nah, the statistics are showing you, if you read them, that we're really far off it. And I think Clement's really out his depth with this.
Yep, he is out his depth. And wait a minute, just hear it. Yep.
Why are we not doing that earlier in the game? Why are we keeping the ball, playing it in front of Queen's Park?
Why is there not somebody, I don't know, shouting at people or just generally trying to make something happen?
Shouting at people, oh you, make some noise.
Individuals to make knee-jerk reactions, but some...
Anything to say?
John McDonald says our season's over. I mean, I like Europe. I like the Europa League, but...
I like Europe.
You're right. It's done. It's done and dusted. This team are allergic to trophies.
Hey! This team's allergic to trophies. You're winning absolutely nada.
I mean, I do care about it because it would have got us to extra time, but certainly it would have papered over the cracks.
Oh, and if you've seen it, it's a big crack to paper over.
Goldfish bowl that is Scotland, and we need somebody who has a little bit more about them to take that on their shoulders and probably know what the game's like here. I'm not going to start name dropping, but all I'm going to say is it has to change because we've went through enough now.
We've went through enough. It's been 12 years since 2012, 13 years now, 13 years since 2012, and we can't take it much longer. Neither can the stadium, it's falling down.
I said about a week and a half ago, Aaron, that moving forward, I still don't think Clement's the right man. But the way that the board want to approach it, the way that they want to go about it, I'll certainly support, as all of the Rangers fans will. You'll support whoever's...
Wait a minute. Did you see the stadium at the end of the game? They weren't supporting them then.
We were guff.
Okay,
and there's something serious questions to be raised. Genuinely.
Could you...
Ian Campbell says...
just be patient.
It's a rebuild, Dan. Just be patient.
Just be patient. I've got a dilemma. My dinner's ready. My dinner is ready. You're going to have to sit Kaiser at the Treble's inbound. Give me 2 seconds. Let's listen to one of these goons now. Whilst I try and do something.
Even if you don't think they're the right guy for the job, until such times as he's no longer there, right? Mm-hmm. And people were saying, well, I mean, how can you say that about Clement? Look at what we're doing. Look at this. Look at that. Today, Aaron, and we'll come to the players because the players don't get away with this. We'll come to the players, but I'm starting with the manager. This is the reason. Today's the reason why it's so blatantly obvious that Clement should no longer be our manager.
Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He started every game that we've played well so far with Dessers and Ugaman up front. And today he decides, for whatever reason, to put Ugaman in his unfavoured position, which is the lone striker, or even out wide at times. And it just didn't make sense. You saw players that, like Haji, was trying his best.
Doesn't make sense.
Probably one of the only players on that pitch today that tried. And even when he was trying, it just wasn't good enough. Because what was around him just wasn't matching his efforts. So you've got player. I'm speechless. Barami is missing all the time. Tierney didn't have his greatest game. And one thing I will say, and this was touched on by Kenny and Alex in the watch along, we should have played with that intensity that we played with that last 5 minutes all the way through. If we could do it for the last 5 minutes, why on earth could we not do it from the first whistle? There's just no excuse for that. Diagonal passing, playing against a team, yes, they sat back. Yes, it was whoever. It doesn't matter what badge is on that shirt. We should play the way we have played the last few weeks.
What's happening?
Like I said to you, the question I want to ask you is where do you think the confidence has gone? How can so many players have their heads down after having them up and performing well time and time again and consistently?
Just blocked you.
You're excited to see players like Haji coming back into it, Tierney finding his form again. I'm not Tierney's biggest fan because he has games like this and he does go missing, but everyone does.
Seconds.
But there was just no spark. There was just no one there to make something happen. And when they did, the final third, time and time again, no quality going forward in that final third.
I mean, their goalkeeper, Kenny, had a really good game. He was excellent, deservedly man of the match. And look, he made two.
He made two what?
I know it's a rebuild. Look, I'm signed up for rebuilds. I like rebuilds. You know, I don't, but I'm all for them. I'm a Rangers fan. Remember, I've been living through rebuilds for freaking ages. We're rebuilding every season. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no. Look, I know the remit. I understand what it is, and I understand I can be patient. As I say it, I'm a Rangers fan. I'm 28 now. I've spent a long time being patient.
You've never seen Rangers successful then?
You know, if you're thinking all the way back to 2011 and all that sorts of stuff, 2012 onwards, I'm patient. I've been a patient Rangers supporter. But ultimately, you can't hide away from it. Losing to a second division team is as low as it gets. At home as well. It's embarrassing. I know cup upsets happen. Liverpool just got knocked out to Plymouth today, and arguably the best team in the world right now. That's certainly the best team in England at this moment in time. Cup upsets happen. They do happen. That's the magic of the cup, as it's so to speak. But Scotland is a little bit different, and we're not away from home, for God's sake. We're playing Queen's Park at Ibrox. Were these guys meant to be raising their game? This is where they're meant to be raising their game now, because this is the most realistic opportunity we've had to win a trophy.
Yep. Oh, loving this.
I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless. I have nothing else to say.
Oh, that's a pity. Well, we're enjoying that. Let's listen to you.
Maybe off the top of my head, barring the penalty. Maybe three really good saves. But he didn't put them under anywhere near as much pressure as what we should have. And Aaron's absolutely spot on there. And I know that you and Alex said this in the watch along about that last 5 minutes, the intensity when there's only 5 minutes to go. We were so slow, so ponderous throughout the full game. It was almost as if the manager says to them, it's only Queen's Park, boys. Go out, have a kick about, you'll score a couple of goals. Don't get injured. Don't take it too far. And we'll come back and we'll be fine. There was no intensity in that game whatsoever. Is that the manager, Kenny, or is that the players?
Both. I honestly believe you could have played Curtis and Rice and still should have done them. 100%.
Our B team, Kenny. Sorry, I'm raging. Our B team, the game that I was at against this Queen's Park team, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not played them off the park, but gave them a right good game. We're probably the better team, and then Insiala punched somebody, get sent off or whatever, right? And then Queen's Park ran over the top of them. Our B team put in a better fight against this Queen's Park team than what our first team did.
You can't actually pick just the one player as well. I think collectively they were all off it.
They were all off it.
I genuinely don't. I'm going to let the chat take it away for me because I'm raging, absolutely raging. And I've got
sound like you're raging.
A Hearts fan, brother-in-law, freaking pinging me messages. I've got fucking friends or acquaintances, should I call them, Celtic fans messaging me, and my phone is blowing up right now. And I'm
You've not got Celtic fans, mate. I'm trying to eat my Sunday dinner.
Sorry.
Use water here in a meltdown.
But Rangers are good at home. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we have been pretty good at home, to be fair. So it was a surprising one for me. I certainly didn't expect to be making this video
Sunday dinner.
I could probably get a little bit nervy if the game was away from home. Yeah, you're right. But again, at Ibrox, it's unforgivable. It's unforgivable to lose any of your games as Rangers at Ibrox.
Hey, let's listen to this guy for a minute.
A title can get a crowd on side.
It was all she wrote out the cup for another season. Probably going to be another season of no silverware. We'll wrap up. I don't think there's much more to say, Scott. It's been a disappointing day. We look like we're going to be on the right road, and then all of a sudden something comes along like this. Obviously, go into more detail on the podcast tomorrow night about the game, and just you're obviously, or a lot of fans now are thinking it's time for Clement to go.
Yep. They've been saying that for a while.
The movement off the ball was terrible.
Diomandis in the first half.
The ball in the net, it would completely change the game. We need to change it again. If we don't change it for the top down, then we're in trouble because it's a load of mistakes that's coming from top to bottom, all the way through to the management and the coaching. And the players, some of them have hid today, and again through the management under the bus as well. So it's a collective, Martin, and it's annoying. I don't know what you think.
I think it's the 9th of February and we're out of everything in Scotland.
That's drastic. It's drastic.
That is drastic.
How many times do we give this manager a chance? But because we always see these things and we get stats and that, and then it's always he's saved again. I don't know.
No, but we can sit here and we can say,
oh my goodness, far too much.
It's partly the board's fault. It's
far
partly
too
the
jelly
people
and
that
ice
the board have hired, which
I'm going to hit. I've not even got any jelly and ice cream
their
ready.
fault. It's the manager, their fault. It's the players, their fault. We can come right down the line, Aaron. I'm sorry, the players that we have out on that park should be good enough to beat Queen's Park. That the fact that we didn't beat Queen's Park
today means a lot.
Regardless of who the opposition is, but when it comes to a second division team, it's just humiliation and embarrassing. There's no getting away with it.
There's no getting away with it at all. Oh, I hope the headlines tomorrow are similar to what when Inverness Cali went ballistic 25 years ago.
Day for me is not a board issue, although they've got a hell of a lot to answer for, right? I know they're trying to change it by bringing in Patrick Stewart and promoting Nils Coppin and stuff like that, but they've got a lot to answer for, right? Your scouting department at Rangers has got so much to answer for. Diamandi, $4.5 million, Bayrami, $4 million, Cortez, $4 million. Just don't even get me started on that because we'll be here all night, right? But Clement and those players, Clement's won league titles in Belgium, right? Some of those players have won a league title at Rangers and have won Scottish Cups. How on earth, Aaron, is that team not good enough to go to Ibrox and beat Queen's Park? How on earth is that team not motivated enough? The fact that we're out the league, we get beaten in a League Cup final, and we've done well in Europe. How are they not motivated to go?
It's a big downward spiral, isn't it? Do you want to say now? Nope. Anything on your mind? He's just staring at the screen. This is weird.
I mean, I'm trying to find Rangers fans in the live chat, but the other side of the city have came in saying some comments.
So you're just hanging about for the sake of it.
Ryan McPhail says move him on tonight and get a temporary guy in charge until the end of the season. But who fills you with confidence? Who do you go? Let's bring this guy in. I mean, he has a little bit of credit in the bank with me, Philippe. Come on. I know it's bonkers, right? Probably my standards have dropped. But, you know, I was really uplifted after that Europa League result. Genuinely, I was. And
oh, my goodness.
Rangers got me back on the wagon again. You know,
got you back
on the Philippe
wagon?
Clement train again. And felt as if that, you know, we were maybe at the dawn of a new day, so to speak. And I genuinely felt that, you know, we could do something this year. The Scottish Cup and the Europa League, or at least go far into the Europa League.
And they thought they were going to win the Europa League. Jesus God, calm yourself.
Is there anyone you can think of the top of your head who you would like to come in, or is it just a case of get rid and then see what happens, see who's available and who wants a job?
I've said when Clement did go that Rangers have got a big decision to make. Now they either bring in somebody domestically, i.e. Dale McInnes, right, who knows the league, who can get us organised, get us a shape, get us winning in matches and get us closer in a domestic sense. Or we go down the route of we bring in somebody like Muscat who will give us an identity going forward, who's got a successful brand of football. Clearly because he's winning everything in China and Japan and anywhere he's been.
Oh, going down the old Ange Postecoglou route, are you lads?
First half, let's blow this Queen's Park team away, and then we can settle down and we'll go on and we'll win this Scottish Cup, and we'll give the fans something to shout and cheer for. We'll give the fans something because we owe them something. Do the players just not care?
No,
I think it's just because it was a realistic competition that we could have won. We could have gone on and won that. And you saw it last time at Fraserburgh as well. That first half, we just didn't get started. You know, we didn't come into play until the second half. So I think the question is that we've seen these players be good enough to compete in Europe. We've seen these players compete with the best, beat the best, draw with the best. So why can't they do that with Queen's Park? What is it about the pressures of Scottish football that they just can't step up to?
They step up and play because Rangers are shy.
So, to me, that's a decision Rangers have got to make. Do you go and get a safer pair of hands domestically, or do you go out and bring in somebody and try and just build it?
Build it again? He's talking about building again.
For next season, make a few signings. But we made fuck all signings.
Language.
Absolutely nothing. It was a poor January transfer window. We got Rafael Fernandez in, that was it. We needed more. Yes, you could say we got rid of people, but we needed more through the door.
We needed more
and
through
now,
the door.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, I don't like to make knee-jerk reactions, but any Rangers manager losing at home to a second division team in the Scottish Cup, the only trophy that we could go for this season, of course, there's got to be question marks over them. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Bring in somebody that's going to bring in a brand of football so that...
A brand of football. Martin, what? Okay.
Because we could have breezed that game. And as I said to you before, you know, before the watch along, it was 4-5-0, the score predictions. But they went out there, and I think maybe they had that mentality too, which is completely the wrong mentality to have. Because if you expect to turn up and have easy work and make easy meat of any team, then that's a mentality issue. You should never have that. Doesn't matter who it is. And you saw it a little bit, like I say, with Fraserburgh.
With Fraserburgh, wait a minute, Meltdown coming in.
Of course there has to be. What about Kevin? Kevin guy that was Muscat. Yeah, Muscat. I mean, potentially. I don't think he wants to come.
Yeah.
And people were saying Steven Gerrard, but I know he did well for us. I don't know. I don't know if I want that. Then again, I don't know if I want Philippe Clement. I don't know. I don't know. I
don't know. I just don't know.
When he leaves, we can then bring in a similar sort of manager.
What?
It's It's indifferent. Rangers have got
Shite.
Started coming forward, they were thought, whoa, wait a minute here, we've got a game.
We've got a
And
game.
yes, it was comfortable in the end.
Kevin, the new
But
manager.
you just can't. You can't do that.
Who's Kevin?
And like you said, they'll probably beat Hearts next week, and everyone will be like, "Oh, come on!" You know, I've said it. Clement's well. Clement
They're wanting the minion. Kevin the minion to come in as manager.
should have been gone for me. See, before even the Celtic game, he should have been gone. That for me, that was it. Patrick Stewart's first job should have been get rid of Clement and start a proper rebuild instead of luring us into false sense of security time and time again. The players aren't playing for the badge. Then they turn up and play for the badge. It's just so...
Wait, what? Whoa. You just said they're not playing for the badge, then they turn up and play for the badge. Let's say that again.
Then they turn up and play for the badge.
Whoa, you just said they're not playing for the badge and then they're playing for the badge.
That was it. Patrick Stewart's first job should have been get rid of Clement and start a proper rebuild instead of luring us into false sense of security time and time again. The players aren't playing for the badge. Then they turn up and play for the badge.
Are you confused? Now I'm even starting to get confused.
Depleted. This season has been horrific. The
Kevin
season has
and
been
Perry.
crap. We've had the Europa
I've got a
League
cousin called
run,
Kevin.
I suppose. But that's about it. It's been absolutely depressing.
I just done
And
a welfare check with my
it's
brother.
even
He's
worse
one of
with this
them.
result.
He isn't okay.
Frustrating.
Incredible.
Absolutely
Comes to mind,
frustrating.
says Lorna. Oh, Jesus.
5406 says no point spending money now. Wait till the summer. The season.
You can't spend money now.
I mean, we can't spend money anyway. It's out of January, so regardless, we wouldn't have been able to. But
a choice to make, mate.
Yeah.
What about
No,
you?
I totally agree. I honestly don't know. I've got to be brutally honest with you. I do not know. I mean, there'll obviously be people.
There's two guys on this chat, and no, there's about three, and this one guy goes, "All together, let's give it a big jock new, big jock new." There's only him that's putting it up. Oh my goodness!
Talking about a certain ex-Liverpool legend who's just become unemployed in Saudi Arabia. I'm guessing his name will get brought up. But
yeah, he got sacked. Yeah, Stevie G got sacked.
It's just so inconsistent. The mentality issue within that team, from the board right down to the players, is the problem here.
Raging.
Substitutes on our bench could have bet Queen's Park. So I'm landing it heavy at the players with no heart, passion, imagination. It's nothing new that teams come and play defensively against Rangers.
Not at all.
But I really don't know. Just at a loss at the minute. It seems to be the same. No matter who we get in, it seems to be the same script every time, that we can't beat these teams who, like you say, play.
Somebody just said Billy Davis. Billy Davis for manager. Oh dear.
I don't know. Yeah, but I still feel like you should have prepared, maybe bought some players that you've identified in the January transfer window, give them a free hit, if you like, of the season, and then go from there. But, nah.
Nah. Needs garlic.
The low block, it seems to be a massive issue for anyone who comes in. So someone with a different take, someone who's going to play a style of football that is attacking. And that's where, I don't like to say it, but the other team across the roads, when they brought in the likes of Postecoglou, that's how they beat the other teams. They ran over them and they attacked them because they knew they were better than them. And we need someone like that. Who that is, I don't know. Could be Muscat. But yeah, it's interesting times. And as I say, still, let's be positive, still got Europa League.
Whoa, still got Europa League. Hey.
But for the last good few weeks, we've been breaking them down. And there was a comment there about the USG game.
That was the changes for now with the winners.
Here we go.
Perhaps there was a question from some fans, particularly around why you made those substitutions.
Yeah, Yilmaz played really good games as a left winger, and he will play left winger also in moments. This was not a moment to put a young boy, and that was the other alternative of 18-year-old, to put in that kind of game now with that pressure on. So that was the changes for now with the winners we have in the squad.
What have you said to the players in there? What's the mood like in the dressing room after that?
They're all down, and it should be. So it's unacceptable to lose this. They all know that. So they built credit back the last weeks, the last months with the fan. Today, they lost everything. Of that credit, this is not acceptable to lose against Queen's Park in the cup. That was probably the rush that there was in the second half, but you need composure in these moments and you need overview. We came so many times in and around the box. We had so many times the possibility for the shot, but we were not.
They look simply depressed,
and that hurts us.
They do look simply depressed. I need to get a screenshot.
Given the gap in the league, obviously losing the League Cup final and now out of the Scottish Cup, can a Rangers manager survive potentially ending a season without a trophy?
Nope, cannot.
It happened several times in the past. We know it's a rebuild. I'm focused on this game, on the next game. I don't think you can ask much more than to get 30 chances, and nothing to do with tactics or whatever. It's about the quality of the moment, and that we missed today.
So you're confident as Rangers manager in your position at the moment after that?
Yes, I'm confident about that. Everybody knows how hard everybody's working together. So last week, everybody was saying that the team is taking good steps and growing and great 8th position in the Europa League. It's not because you lose a game where you normally have to win 99 out of 100, that things change about the way things are working. If you do that, then you're only living in emotions, and then there will never be stability in this club.
Wow.
Thanks, Philippe.
Wow.
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 So,
living in emotions.
So it doesn't matter, Kenny.
Wow.
It really doesn't matter because it's a rebuild. Doesn't it matter?
Doesn't matter.
No. This guy is just, I don't know, I'm beyond angry at some of the ways that he just kind of floats over the enormity of what's just happened and confidently stating that it's happened in the past, saved my job, no bother. Listen, we're all on, you're talking about emotion, the emotional roller coaster we've been under since the people that make the decisions and his management has caused has been ridiculous.
There's something there in terms of what he can offer going forward. Quite clearly, he doesn't have a sort of defensive radar, or it's not plugged in properly. That is where you put your work in on the training ground to try and make him better, to improve him, to be more aware at the back post when defending the back post. Because it's happened so many times now that it's not an accident. So what the coaching staff doing about correcting it? Nothing would be the evidence from again today. So
Keith Jackson. Who cares about Keith Jackson?
Can win that. You know, we don't want to be too down on this podcast, Scotty. Let's have a bit of positivity.
Positivity. You're going to win nothing this season.
So we'll wrap up there.
Good. Cheerio. Let's listen to Martin have a meltdown.
Listen, he's deluded if he's thinking that this is normal. The amount of times he saved his job, somebody said it there, by the way, the Celtic job's the only thing that saved him. It really did, and now we're stuck.
The Celtic win, Kenny. The Celtic win.
The Celtic win, yeah. And this is the problem. We've put a marker down, we've trusted him, and we've went for it, and it's not really changed any. You get 3 or 4 good games, and then a draw, then a bad game, then this.
And
where do we go from here if you're not going to pay him off? Because you're going to have to wait till summer. We've already got no trophy. The league's by, and as you said, Martin, how long do we leave this for Celtic to just keep going? Do you want another 10? Is that what you're looking for? Yes. Because I'm damn sure I'm not putting up with that.
Hey,
I'm looking for a captain, right, to drag us out the mud in games like that, or any couple of players who can play the ball about, show intensity, drag players that, never mind the manager.
Just never mind them.
Yeah, I think, and you know, Rangers have got some I think some top young talent. And for me, clearly, there's no point saying it anymore. Clearly, it's not Clement as far as I'm concerned. They have to now make a decision because, well, 2 things. One, they can keep on going like this.
Did you know that Keith Jackson just said, we need to make a decision? Hurting Hun from the Daily Record.
And it's the old phrase that doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Yep.
It's proof of insanity. So did they do that? Are they brave enough to grasp the bull by the horns here? And if they are brave enough to grasp the bull by the horns, are they clever enough to have worked out in their own minds what the future should look like?
The future is green and white.
If you're on that bloody park and you're playing against a team like that and you know you're up against it, where are yous? Where is these players? You know what I mean? Your James Tavernier's never going to do it, right? And I'm not having a go at him, just meaning he's not got the personality to pull a full team out by himself. We used to have 3 and 4 players that would do it.
Man.
One wasn't doing it, another one would do it. All the way through the 90s, all the way through 2000s, we had those players to do it. We've got nobody we're hiring with that type of personality to play for Rangers in a goldfish bowl scenario in a league. Genuinely, who wins it or finishes second of 2 clubs where you're watched on every single game you go to win. You can't just buy players because you think they're a progress or anything like that.
You can. We bought Matt O'Reilly because we thought he would progress, and we sold him for 25 million.
It's not, Clement.
Aye.
I know all these things are about to be answered, and they might be answered by Rangers doing nothing at all.
They might be answered by Rangers doing nothing at all.
But if they do that, they're just going to infuriate a supporter base which is already beyond the end of its tether.
Of what?
You've got to see if their mentality's right. If it's a type of person that can take the pressure that's coming for you drawing and getting a loss even. That's it. A draw and a loss in the 2 years. It's ridiculous, the attitude in the players. It's
ridiculous, the attitude in the players. Keith, what do you think?
Listen, I'm getting a text message here from somebody. Arguably the worst result in Rangers history. And
that was McCoist. McCoist has just texted him.
That's from somebody who
was on gardening leave for fucking ages.
Who cares very deeply about that football club.
Yeah, McCoist.
So I don't know. What's the question? Do I think that Rangers will act? Do I think that they'll pull the trigger on him?
Aye.
Do you know what? I know that they should do.
But they won't. And that's the big question.
Ridiculous. And see if you've got a half-wit like that talking to you in a dressing room at half-time. Honestly, you're waiting for somebody to go in
say and what?
Motivate you. If you're in the doldrums, you want
Mr. Motivator. He's still on the go, you know.
Somebody to come in and you go, right, okay, boss, let's go out and do it. Let's go for it. You know, you're not going to get that in there. They've come back out and it's the same drab again.
Yep.
So for me,
same drab.
Finished. Has to be new. Has to be changed.
Did he just go on to that interview and use the fact that we had 28 shots on target and didn't score a single goal? The only positive that he took out of that. Also, where's the emotion? Where's the emotion gone?
Where's that
emotion? It was only a few weeks ago. If you've got an excuse to be angry, it's now.
Yeah, we've got an excuse to be angry. It's now. What does Keith Jackson think? We hun.
Decision. An interesting option with potentially disastrous consequences across all levels, on every conceivable level.
I could put up these comments for days. That I won't keep going on, but just this one here, Ryan saying he just can't survive that. Clement should walk away. That result, and I do not believe he will go because we're not in a position to change again. But I just keep coming back to that first sentence. He can't survive that. How can he possibly? How can his position be tenable?
How can look, zombies? The way that zombies work is they don't die. Philip Clement's a zombie. They don't die. They just wake up every day and exist. They don't even wake up. They don't go to sleep.
If you see what the manager is made of at a result like this today, and he comes out and he's 28 shots on target. They only had 1. We stopped them. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That does not matter. The scoreline matters. The fact we're out the Scottish Cup matters. And for him to turn around and say, of course, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Told you that. I'm safe. Well, why?
Why?
What has he got on the board that we don't know about?
Nudes. They've got nudes. Them humping David Murray's leg. The one of them.
After that tonight, surely, some way they've got to look. We need someone new in here.
Well, look, it seems obvious to you. It seems obvious to me, but it seemed obvious to quite a few people for quite some considerable time. Rangers
are shite. So, Martin.
Any manager to come out and go, yes, absolutely. Under this scrutiny.
He's
gone.
It's gone.
He is gone. We're back to square one. If he's using the rebuild excuse again, we're straight back to square one. We're where we were before Christmas when he used the same sentence of this is a rebuild. How many months is a rebuild? How many years is a rebuild?
13 since Rangers went in liquidation and died, so 13 rebuilds. Are lucky for some. Whilst we've got Yang, who's lucky for us.
Acted it differently. It's done a different thing. It's been quite defiant in the way that it's gone about it. Desperately hoping, probably, to be proven to be correct.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That they were right and you guys were all wrong, and this is a sign of stability, and it's not. This is a continuation of a catastrophic period in the club's history where they've proven time after time after time after time to come up short, and Clement hasn't been the man to change that. He's further enabled it, and there is no sign that yes, there have been. It's a curious one, and where he's been a Harry Houdini and sort of through these close calls, because for me he stumbled into good outcomes in terms of telling Hadji, you're nowhere near good enough to be a Rangers player, son. Oh, you're now a mainstay of the team. Raskin can't get a game. He's now the kind of central figure in midfield. Eagleman, nowhere near first team ready.
Nowhere near first team ready.
He's had January. You know, I mean, where's the rebuild? What? I just don't see the way forward.
And I seen I think it was Penna Cartel on Twitter who made the point, Kenny. And he said, you know what? Not that this would ever be acceptable, but it would be slightly more palatable, right? If we seen a style of play, if we seen intricate bits of passing for the players and it was just an off day, right? Now, we've been talking about this basically since Clement came in.
The draws on Monday.
I don't know what his style of football is. I don't know what he's asking these players to do. But to come out in a post-match and say, yeah, my job's safe.
My job's safe.
It's a rebuild. If anybody thinks any different, then this football club's not going to get any better. No, Kenny, the football club's not going to get any better as long as he's in situ as our manager.
Yeah, that's true. So, Keith Jackson, what do you think?
Cyril Dessers the better bet. Eagleman is now the top man.
Colleague Andy Newport, who was at the game today.
Andy's probably quite busy right now.
I was going to say, he's got a lot on his plate. I'm going to we'll give him another minute or two because I've got a feeling. Let's see what happens. But wanted to get your take on this. A few people asking. Big Chewy says this is far worse than when Celtic lost to Cali Thistle.
Yay!
Let's get it right. Let's call it for what it really is. It's
rubbish.
I hate to say I didn't see it coming, but I think within the first sort of 5, 10, 15
This is live from Ibrox.
minutes, you just had a vibe that this was a performance in which Rangers were really just going to go through the motions, and you know the absolute lack of urgency is what really cost them at the end. I mean, we didn't start playing with any sort of pace or tempo until 20 minutes for the end, when obviously Queen's Park get the first goal, and at that point it was panic stations. Ibrox was growing ever more toxic by the second, and the players were running around with their heads on fire.
Clement
and really that's what cost them, just an absolute lack of composure and a lack of urgency in the key moments. I mean, it's a really quite startling performance. I've seen some bad days here, especially lately, but that's up there with one of the worst. This is now a crisis point for the club.
Crisis
got
point.
A manager who has lost all respect and trust and faith in the fans. I'm not sure, I've not checked this out yet, but there was some suggestions there might have been some maybe a small protest outside the front door at full time. Whether how big that got or what was involved, I'm not sure. I've just heard a few rumours, but this is now a major crisis for Philippe Clement. He thought he turned it round when he faced protests here. Was it only 3-4 weeks ago?
3 or 4 weeks ago.
How many times, Kenny, right? How many times can we keep having every couple of months the same conversation about Philippe Clement?
We can't, and I'll tell you, I know that a lot of guys are putting on it's down to the players. It is.
Yep, Barnes got sacked straight after the game, that's right.
Game, right? Take Queen's Park out of any game that you need to dig deep, and it's really struggling. The fans are on your back. The guy was right, the other one there.
Oh, man.
You go to have the motivation for the manager first and your captain second in the dressing room, and then out in the park.
And out in the park, they are saying this.
The Aberdeen game, so getting into the last 16 in Europe was a big achievement for them, but to go out in this manner against a championship team, a team they hadn't lost to since 1948. They hadn't lost to Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup since 1880 something. I need to check it. I did have it in my match report.
Once in the 70s and once in the 80s, but
1880s, the last got beaten. Oh my goodness.
We haven't got that. And then you marry that with substitutions that are absolutely hairball, and then a comment in interviews
Thank you
like
for
that.
the super chat that just came in. Marines.
Did an interview there?
Mate,
He'd be
have a
dying
good
to
week.
get away.
No worries,
He'd be like,
thank you
"Right,
for
is that
that."
us? You finished? Aye. Well, you know what happened. Look at the state of that. Right, are we gone? We're ready to go now. He would be. He's not interested in his today's media. But see that monotone, delusional. I'll just maybe say things and get away with it.
Delusional.
That with substitutions that are absolutely hairball, and then a comment in interviews like that. Can you imagine Walter Smith did an interview there? He'd be dying to get away. He'd be like, "Right, is that us? You finished? Aye. Well, you know what happened. Look at the state of that. Right, are we gone? We're ready to go now." He would be. He's not interested in his today's media. But see that monotone, delusional. I'll just maybe say things and get away with it.
I'll just say things and get away with it. We need to go back to Ibrox. It's coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. So, I mean, we've obviously just come straight for the press conference there. He was asked outright if he was going to resign. He says he won't. He says he's here to finish this project off. This is just it seemed to me suggesting this is just the kind of bump in the road you expect when you go through.
Agent Clement is not for walking.
Season that they're having.
Agent
He said,
Clement
what other
is not
manager
for
could have
walking.
changed today's performance? It was nothing to do with tactics. It was nothing to do with anything that he could have done. It was all just about a lack of composure from the players. And yeah, listen, he's not the guy out in the pitch, but he is the guy who's the figurehead of this team, who has been responsible for the rebuild that's been carried out, and it is not working. And as I say, the fans, it's not so much whether the board still have faith in him, it's whether the fans do. And you know, in a couple of months' time, the board are going to go at these supporters and asking them to dig into their hard end to pay for season tickets, and that might come back as a scary shock to them, because right now the mood round here is pretty low. And
I think, Andy, I hear what you're saying, and you're absolutely right in terms.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Rangers are shite.
We've developed this bubble where he feels so bloody safe.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't watch what we're doing here, we can absolutely end up miles behind that other team. Miles. And it's our fault. It's our fault. And we're watching it, and we seem as if the board have managed to see when the Bears walked out, right? And we ended up half as offside, and then we're booing them and all the rest of it. See the board loved that.
The board loved it when the Bears walked out and we stayed and we booed the Bears. We booed the Bears. And the Bears booed us and we booed the board. And there's a lot of booing, isn't there?
Absolutely loved it. Divided and conquered, job done, cracking. So what we'll do is now we'll just kind of do what we want, and we know that we'll get put up with it. Well,
they're starting to sound like Celtic fans in the 1990s.
Well, I remember everybody watching and the Rangers fans that are season ticket holders and the diehards that we all are.
No surrender. No surrender.
Your season tickets are due for renewal, right? So
Aye.
the last year, they waited till we bought them,
and
then changed the goalposts. So just let's keep that in mind before you start running out. And I know people are saying, I'm not getting on my season ticket. But listen, we moaned, we don't day walking away. Celtic day walking away. Aye, Celtic didn't end up getting that liquidation. Celtic kicked it off, so the board went out in their arse and got something invested and reimagined it.
Reimagined it? There's no reimagining it. It's factual history. We paid our debt and we moved on. You went into liquidation and died.
So we can keep playing this hamster wheel, or we can do something about it.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying, we're coming up to the end of the season. If we're keeping doing this, we as fans need to stand up, because this is madness. Absolute madness. The Rangers, I know.
Celtic kicked off, and then the following season spent a good few quid on players and then won the league.
And then
that was their rebuild. Their rebuild took 6 weeks at the start of the season when we were all laughing and joking and shouting about Ange, going, "Oh, look at us, we're so far ahead. Oh, they're rubbish. We're going to win the next 2 leagues." Took them 6 weeks to get their act together.
Yep.
And then they went on and won the league and just basically went on and won everything.
Yeah. Hell yeah, the hurt is real. The hurt is real. We'll come back in a minute. Wait a minute. Yep, coming live for Ibrox right now.
In terms of Clement's reaction, but it's almost like the standard fullback position now. After every kind of booting in other regions that Rangers suffer under Clement, he trots out the same stuff. Well, you know, it's really the players, and you know, everybody realises that we're in a transition, and
it's a rebuild.
It's he just said the rebuild word. That's the passcode to link back to Martin. I understand that. Okay, right, let's do it.
February.
Can I say to you, Paul? See, when we bet Celtic, you said we destroyed them, right? So you're no a million miles away as far as we think. See, this thing, we're massive miles away from them. Listen, see if you bought well and you got the right mentality, you're probably a season after them. Seriously, it's not crazy. It's just we keep making the bad decisions all the time. We've got the wrong mentality running the dressing room. For captain, for manager, unfortunately.
Couple of weeks, we knew that. Still, we had enough chances to open up the game. And in the second half, you put more of the regulars in.
You put more of the regulars in, out, shake it all about. You do the hokey cookie, you turn around, and that's what it's all about.
But made poor decisions on personnel. That's why we're shaky.
And that question as well, by the way, Aaron, and I'll let you come back in a wee second. Fair play to the woman asking the questions, because they were decent questions that she was asking.
That's a
Don't usually get that. But when she asked me about making the defensive changes, I don't understand what you're talking about. You brought on a left back to play left wing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's wrong with that? A left back to the left wing, you can play both positions. You're the left. It's not as if they brought in a left back to play centre forward, Martin.
And he's got a young winger there who wants to prove himself, who's already played Queen's Park, who played well against Queen's Park for the B team, sitting on the bench. So he did make a defensive substitution. It wasn't a proactive substitution. It was completely defensive. And I'm sorry, Red Van play well at left wing. He my headpiece, man.
Honestly.
Today not, so...
If a reporter's going to ask him that question and she can notice what we saw, how can he not see it?
I understand the anger, the frustration, everything, because I'm also full of anger and frustration.
And
the players also, because we set our mind on winning this cup this season, so it's unacceptable to lose against Queen's Park then and to go out of this cup.
Why don't you give us a call?
No, I'm not giving you a call whatsoever. I will be there back in a minute. We need to listen to Martin first of all.
Going back to what you were saying about being miles behind them, no, we haven't. They've dropped so much points this season, and the only saving grace for them is we do things like this. We would be a lot closer if we could just get consistency. I just can't. The mystery remains for me is what it's just mentality.
Frustration and the lack of tempo, and it wasn't as if we brought in 6 young boys, Bridgeman. We brought in the new centre half.
Dry your eyes, mate.
Okay, he get a wee bit tired. He's not played a lot of football. He didn't have any defending today. Nothing. The whole time he was on the pitch. And we brought in Bailey Rice. So if we're blaming Bailey Rice, I didn't think he had a good game for that performance. Well, that says more about the manager than it does young Bailey. And I'm not saying Bailey's the answer, but you can't blame him.
No, you can't blame him. He's a bit quiet, him.
You can't get confidence. You can't build up full fire, full force, and then Dessers has come in. And he's looked a bit shaky.
He has.
But I'll go back because the super chats have come in thick and fast.
Here we go.
Kenny Charles. Thank you, Charles, my friend. Your bread and butter, League and Cups, is gone. Europe is a bonus. No improvement after today. He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thoughts on that? He's got to go.
I'm agreeing with that. And
it's the the barren years.
Has to go. Who do you bring in? And what kitty do they get?
Nothing, because there's nothing in the kit.
Is that something must happen? Something must change. He's offered nothing. He hasn't said, "Well, we'll get this fabulous player coming in." No, He's not got anything. We don't have anything at the club. The club's just going to go on in the doldrums now. We're going to be in the doldrums. And you, as I said to you a wee while ago there, if we go at the very first game that we don't win, there's going to be murder Polish. And we've got murder Polish in who?
It can't be any more murder Polish, as you call it, than there is the night bridge.
Of course, I'm saying it's murder Polish in who?
It's murder Polish? What on earth is murder Polish?
Or whatever else. So we're in a very precarious position right now.
Right.
And we're at a transition of what do we do and how do we do it, because...
Well, you just do the same. You just sack the manager, you get somebody new, you get a wee dunt to the end of the season, you might beat Celtic at Ibrox, and then you think, we're coming! And then again, where is it? Where the hell are they? It'll be a case of, can you see the Rangers coming? Can you see the Rangers coming? No, you can't. Can't see them coming. And then once that happens, it'll just be re-recorded, not fade away.
I firmly believe that we need some sort of manager that knows what's expected in this league and not takes decisions on playing taking games lightly, let's say, and getting it wrong. There was a couple of ones with St Mirren where he didn't play a lot of the team because he thought he would just get through that, and then he ended up drawing. It was a draw, they were up 2-0.
Right, well, I don't understand. I don't even understand what that comment means.
Neither do I.
But they're losing to clubs that have spent a lot of money and boys that are ex-pros, and they're big, fit, strong boys. Up here, it's a different ball game. Teams to the lower league, he shouldn't be losing to them, especially at him. That shouldn't happen. Rangers were just absolutely the worst display I've ever seen for a Rangers team today, and I've seen a few of them, like the rest of these. But like the man said, not acceptable. Can't happen. Big decisions to be made. Who makes them and who can afford to make them is anybody's guess. I don't know.
Anybody's guess.
I don't know where it goes for here. Right.
Well, the question on the opposite side to that is, can we afford not to
their
make
audio's really low.
Exactly, Bridge. That's
what I'm saying.
That's been my view, and some people will say, we should have done it 6 months ago. Maybe we should have done. Maybe we'll get the same clamour. We should have done it at Christmas. Maybe it's all right, and that's where you are. But you have to
worstest. We're the worstest in the world.
A lot of people with a straw.
It's that old bear.
Okay,
it's old
we're
bear.
going to get the last word for your good self, Bob J.
Aye, one of the blackest days in the history of Glasgow Rangers.
No, it's not.
The only way is up. How far?
The blackest day in the history of Glasgow Rangers is the day that they died and liquidated and ceased to exist even, sorry.
Up can we go? This is the problem.
This is a problem.
Everything seems to be, the last 2 or 3 weeks here, we thought we were turning a corner, doing well, the team was playing well, we were winning games, going to the last 8 in Europe, and we had this break here, and now this disaster happens. And how we're going to get out of it, I don't know. I can't wait for the programme this week to hear them all. So,
you may be
anyway.
I'm not looking forward to it. Cheers, Bob J. Bridgeman.
Aye, thanks again, Ox.
What can I say, Ox? Tremendous show, obviously, given the situation. Really good. Great.
Tremendous show, lads.
Comments for the guys. And, of course, the techie boys in the background. They'll probably be sitting there chewing their nails off. Really and truly, there is only one thing we can say insofar as that. Rangers have got a decision to make, and it's a massive decision. It's not massive for as far as this Rangers man's concerned. I think to me it's sticking out in front of everybody's face. It's got to go.
Oh, I never expected a night like this, Tarmac, either.
It has to be moved, and we have to go get it done, and let's go on with our life, because our life isn't going to be the same until such things, major changes happen, and it's got to happen. So can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening and all over the world, murder Polish result today, shocking, absolutely shocking. But
murder, and wait a minute here. I should have trademarked that. It's Celtic fans not all over the world, not Rangers fans all over the world, right? I started that a couple of years back. So didn't you start copying us? Me. Fucking Rangers fans all over the world. Fucking pish.
Everybody else, please keep it going for the Rangers. The Rangers really need us now. Absolutely, 100%. Keep it going.
We're just going to take one more caller because he's just phoned in, Bridge. It's David.
Go for it.
David. Aye.
Yeah,
Go for it, bud.
before we wrap up. I think he's with us, hopefully.
Hopefully. Hello, David. You're there.
Aye, but I'll not ask you to make that speech again, Bridge. We'll just finish the show at the end.
Bridge. Bridge too
with
far.
us, David?
David.
Yes, he is. Evening, David. How are you doing?
Evening, guys. I'm just back for the game there, and honestly, it's the
I was going to jump off for the bridge, but I didn't.
most shambolic result I've ever
Seen in my life. I think I might go back to the bridge.
seen for Rangers. We did not deserve to win that match, and even the most blue-tinted specs person that's ever lived, when they say we deserve to win that match, Queen's Park played us like a fiddle, and Clement was outclassed by a manager that's 16 places below him, which just says it all. It's absolutely horrendous. This has to be the final nail in Clement's coffin. If he's not getting sacked with this, the season's basically finished. We cannot win anything in any realistic person's mind, and it's February. There's basically maybe 2/3 of a season left, really. 1/3, 2/3 season left, and we can't win anything. And he's saying
Glorious.
Disney,
Glorious.
quit. What would make this man quit?
He's not going to quit. Mate.
Sunday Post,
Once he
1950s
sacks,
lingo.
That's what happens in football. He's not going to walk away because of the financial implications. But I think this will be the straw to break the camel's back, David. And you're right, we were awful, mate. Absolutely awful. And awful's being polite, mate.
Right.
I think through the game, Jeffrey, for me, he stuck out like a sore thumb. He just did not seem to care at all. He got past the halfway line. He just stopped running. He hardly ran the whole match. But it wasn't just him. There's a lot of the players on that park just weren't playing right and weren't getting the ball in the right way. He kept trying the same thing, hitting it down the wing and trying to pass it into the box and score a sitter. It wasn't working. But he just kept on persisting with it. And if this isn't getting this guy the sack, what will? And I know a lot of people say, we've not got the money to sack him. It could cost us more money not to sack him. But we've just got roughly, I think, after tapping my head, £14 million out of Europe. If we get the next round, I think that's another 2 or 3 up. So I'm not taking this, we can't sack him.
Trailer for sale or rent. Ibrox to rent for 50 cents.
If the willingness is there, you can sack him.
The point is that there's a tipping point, and it's whether you can afford to keep him, because you're maybe just putting that the inevitable. Even if you kept him for next year, mate, one bad result, and the clamour would be too much, because he might have gained a wee bit of credit in the bank because of the last day and maybe started scoring goals, but all that credit's just exasperated tonight, David, in front of your eyes against a workman like Queen's Park team who defended one shot goal and won the game against a team that lacked motivation, desire, hunger, skill, ability, passion, and maybe didn't understand what the whole team's about. Because when you look at it,
I feel
there's
I feel like I'm the supervisor on a company that listens to people that are in a bad way, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, hurry up and get off the phone.
a group of players assembled who don't understand. They might think they understand, but do they understand, David?
See, I'm trying to pin it arcade. That's when the draws on Monday night.
The players were shaking Queen's Park players' hands. I was like, that's the problem right there.
How's that the problem? That's what you do at the end of football. He just said the problem is the Rangers players after the game shook the hands of the players with the opposition team. That's what you do when you play football. It's called sport. Sporting integrity and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Rino Gattuso would have stood for that.
Rino Gattuso. Was that not like 25 years ago he played for them? Rino Gattuso. But more than that. It would have been about 30 years ago. Jesus.
Shake the players' hands in the opposition have just kicked you to a major cup. Our only realistic chance of winning a trophy this season, let's be honest. And they're shaking their horns for kicking them out. And they're sitting with big clapping their horns as if it was something to be proud of.
I'll be honest, mate.
Baz the Samaritan. I wasn't going to say that. I didn't want to say that.
It is, mate. It's the performance up until after the final whistle. It gives me the issue. Know what they've done after the final whistle, because I thought they were just collectively, to a man, the substitutes, the starting 11. Yeah, there was a few guys that never done a lot wrong. The goalkeeper.
I've got to get off that channel because it's honestly giving me the heebie-jeebies. And it's like I am listening into. I'm a supervisor on the Samaritans phone line, just making sure that everyone's going all right.
As we was saying in the watch along, the guy was on the field like a minute, so it's poor all over the park. But yeah, wash, rinse, repeat is a perfect analysis for that.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
I mean, it's not the first time, Aaron,
Nope.
that we've seen a Jeffy mistake in defence cost us a goal.
No, and if Chelsea want him for 20 million, take him. You know, I don't see any problems with that. You know what I mean?
I'd have Chelsea want him for 20 million.
Most apart from that one move, the centre backs had maybe too much of the ball, but never really done a lot wrong. It was the forward and the midfield, the fullbacks. They were atrocious to a man, mate. Atrocious to a man.
I just think it just smacks a level of uncaringness about the team, and that's part of the manager. He's distilled that in them. I really don't believe that they've went out there and said, right, we're going to go lose a match. But what's the manager said to them beforehand? Is he said, this is just Queen's Park. You don't have to pay 100%. You could go out there and play your game. Instead of saying to them, right, this is our only major chance of winning a trophy this season. You better be going out there and blowing them away. Let's be honest, that's what the other side of the city's doing. They're blowing teams away 4-5-0 at half time, and we can't even beat Queen's Park. What does that tell you? And you can't even make the argument that it's no a first string team. It was mostly a first pick team, especially the second half, running about roughly £20 million worth of players on that park, and we couldn't beat a team in the second division.
Big Che, have you seen the video?
Fifth or sixth.
No, I haven't. They've got Disco Land on bounce and laughing at.
Listen, we were just want to finish the show. And
man,
it's good to hear from you. Thanks for taking the time to join us, and thanks for your honesty. Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I know my wee page.
It's all right. Just make sure you're all right and take your meds. And just make sure you take your meds. Stay after drinking, and just go to bed. Put your head under the pillow and just hide in the dark, really, until it's all over.
Okay.
Yeah, get it off your chest, mate. Listen, thanks to John, who joined us, of course, our Jimmy Street, top man, our Jimmy Bob Gia, and of course David, who's just come in, Bridgeman, for taking the time and suffering along with myself. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow.
Yeah, we're back tomorrow, but we're not finished just yet. We have been on for the best part of 2 hours. There's been over 11,000 people on this live. I am going to finish the video off listening to Martin, just to see what he's saying here, because he's not really happy.
Just take him, because I think he's overhyped. He does do well going forward, but that reminds me of Tavernier. He reminds me so much like Tavernier. He goes forward, but he can't track back. And when he does track back, he's a ball watcher. He's watching where that ball's going instead of anticipating where it's going. And that is his defensive mistakes. And we saw that today. And we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
Stoned out.
Sorry, these super chats are coming in thick and fast, folks.
No money.
DJ Kieran McD, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Clement's absolutely deluded. Can never admit he got it wrong. Anyway, what's everyone having for a tea tonight? Need suggestions for my own. So that's the point it's got to now, Kenya, that people are just that fed up and like Big Dave said, it's wash, rinse,
Get
repeat,
awesome operator cards.
For suggestions for a dinner. But his main point that Clement can never just admit he got it wrong.
No, but Belgian waffles, I've had enough of them anyway. Too early.
Yes.
But it's I think every time that we have a semi-poor result, it tells you everything that we're all sitting here waiting for this.
No, go back the way. I don't want him.
Super analysis for a manager. And I would be more impressed if he came out and he actually said some sentences
when you look
that actually made me think and go,
absolutely
actually,
horrific.
Right, well, you asked where's Clement going to go from here. We're going to go into the second half from here. Still 0-0. Got to around the 55th minute. And you said at this point that you could see Queen's Park winning this game.
There we go.
And I did, and that's no word to lie. What minute was it? About 57?
It was about 55th.
Yeah, I did. Because
about 10 minutes into the second half.
Rangers made subs, and Michael Stewart said...
We went from listening into the Samaritans, Rangers Samaritans, to listening to very aggressive football fans phoning.
Box are going wide by a couple of yards. And it's like, if Queen's Park get one chance and score it, Rangers are on the ropes.
Yeah, now Rangers made 2 at half time, then made another 2 on the hour mark. You had Dessers, Raskin, Suter, Yilmaz coming on, Barami, Rice, Fernandez, and Hadji going off. They didn't really seem to make that much of a difference. Queen's Park on the 67th minute made their first change of the game. They brought on Drods, and he did make the difference because he scored 2 minutes later. So
that's how it's done.
Yeah, the Rangers changes didn't really change anything. The Queen's Park changed the scoreline, changed the game.
They also brought on Adam Montgomery.
Yeah, man on loan for Celtic there, and we'll talk about him later on in the match because he almost gifted Rangers a lifeline into this game. I believe it was the corner came in, Drods got the ball inside the box. We had Hefty come out, tried to put a tackle, and he just sort of lunged out there, stuck a foot in, allowed Drods to get past them. And it was still, it was a crowded box. I thought he was going to blast it towards goal, but it's almost like he placed it in.
Almost like they placed it in. Yes, it is almost like they placed it in. I have put a link up to the video that was just getting listened into. If you want to jump onto that, I'm done and dusted. There's been over 11,664. I should have stuck around till there's at least. They might go for Ange as manager. I don't think they'll go for Ange as manager, but there's a lot of them eating humble pie tonight. Rangers should play the women's team instead. 11k. There's been over 11,700 views. If I stick around for another couple of minutes, there'll probably be more than that. Let's get Stevie back on. For another 5 minutes or so. That was... let's just get him back on here. And...
a couple of, there was some very good saves from Ferry. Let's
there was, but Rangers pressurised Queen's Park for 25 minutes, right? But it was like long shots that were narrowly drive wide. He was tipping like headers and things over. Great performance from him. But did Rangers do any? Did this scream of a club that was on the verge of crashing out the only competition have a chance of winning? No, it didn't. For me, I'll be honest. I don't think it did.
You think they lacked urgency, or
I want it
like desperation, or
quality?
Quality.
And Clement does point that out, but it's no. But the quality's on the pitch, man. I think he made all the wrong subs.
Well, if they lack quality, could you not argue then they do resemble a team that's crashed out everything?
Jesus Christ Almighty! Apparently, it's the first victory. Apparently, this is Queen's Park first victory over Rangers since 1872. Yep. I don't know how much to believe in that.
I'm pretty sure they... Is it not ever?
I've said it last time we say hi to us live.
Since the year Rangers were founded, unless they beat them on that year. That's crazy, man. It's unacceptable. It'll be unacceptable to go to penalties or,
Well, I don't know. Queen's Park did have success. In their early years, so I would imagine they beat Rangers before. I think this is the first time they beat them in the Scottish Cup.
Definitely got to bet,
which is a lot more of a believable statistic. But yeah, Rangers have chances. We get some really good saves from Callum Ferry. I thought Rangers though could have did better in the final third. I thought they could have did better with their chances, but Ferry made the saves. He did what he was there to do. Yep. And then we get 5 minutes added on. And with what seems like pretty much the last kick of the game, I believe we were into the 94th minute at this point. There is a ball crossed into the box. We've got about 15 seconds left of time. Dessers goes down. Referee gives a penalty. Couldn't believe it. We see the replay. for me, there's not enough contact here for a penalty at all. I thought it was extremely soft. And when you factor in, it's like pretty much essentially the last kick of the game, or at least we thought it would be the last kick of the game. You felt like Queen's Park were robbed here.
No, they were. Tell you what, right? Obviously, I wanted this to count.
Now, VAR looked at it and still gave it.
I mean, I wanted Tav to burst the net with this, right? But I'm more than man enough to admit that this would have been one of the biggest robberies ever, because it's never a penalty for me. It's pathetic that Dessers has to resort to this level of play acting just to get us a fucking draw to force extra time against Queen's Park.
And then when it was given, you seen Clement on the sidelines, and he looked more relieved than anything.
Thumbs up. What we could do a poll about?
He didn't look like a guy that was screaming for it. He wasn't like, calling for it.
I don't give a shit.
He just looked like a guy that was relieved that...
See if Rangers draw here and then they win, I am still as pissed off. Because it was horrific.
Well, I don't think you're still as pissed off. Like, you're probably a wee bit less pissed off. But anyway, look, VAR checked it once, they gave it. They then had another look at it. They were looking at the attacking phase. They didn't show us anything, though. And they decided to give it. And I just don't think it's a penalty, man. I think if you're going to give this a penalty, then you could be giving about 3 or 4 penalties a game. It's 2 guys going for the ball, and Dessers has hit the deck.
I've just been commenting on their channel.
Now, I'm sure Adam Montgomery is that he is the last person that wants to be giving Rangers a penalty here.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely brilliant. Anyway.
His fans wouldn't have been too happy with him.
It was desperation, though. They were like trying to check. Oh, did the goalie go off his line? And then I even think the fact they got 2 corners after it was jammy.
No, it was, but Tavernier takes it. It's like another great save for Ferry, and you know what? I envisioned him saving this because he'd been so good. It was almost written that he was going to make the save. He did make the save, went in for a corner. VAR got involved again. They were checking the goal line to see if the player left it for the penalty. His back heel was on it. Michael Stewart made sure we were aware of that. So, and the penalty, it was a great penalty save, so it should never have been, I don't know why it was looked at. I never even noticed that. Did you see anything? Did you think he was advanced off his line?
No, I think because they pointed out on commentary, his heel was on the line.
Mate, was it just him looking for a way to try and get Rangers a lifeline?
Probably. A lifeline.
I'm surprised they checked it, but
55.
I guess they probably check everyone, but they made it clear that they were looking at this. Heel was on the line, though, so it was the save was given, and then we got not 1 corner but 2 corners, and Ferry had to pull off another good save from the first corner. And then the second corner comes in, Raskin meets it at the back post with his head, but he only finds the side netting. And that was the end of the game. Raskin then, Rangers' last chance to salvage something, to force extra time. Didn't happen. Rangers got the defeat, Queen's Park got the win, and it's a defeat that, really does undo any sort of, I think, confidence or any goodwill that Clement had built up in the past 6 weeks or whatnot.
What about James Tavernier handing another trophy to Celtic?
Well, I mean, that's not going to happen because Hearts are going to pummel them in the quarterfinals. But
let's actually look at it, with a wee bit of truth serum on it, my friend. James Tavernier, shite bag, bottles it yet again.
No, you want to look at the truth. Neil Critchley, manager of the month, right? And we will take care of Celtic when the time comes. But yeah, no, although, are you going to blame Tavernier? I mean, the guy's been so good for the penalty spot. Are you going to really hold this? This isn't Tavernier's fault. Rangers shouldn't be relying on a 95th, 96th minute Tavernier equalising penalty to get into extra time against Queen's Park. This isn't Tavernier's fault. Anyone can miss a penalty.
No. No, fuck him. He has to put it in.
So you're blaming Tav?
I'm blaming everyone, especially that bald fraud standing at the touchline, man, like a Belgian waffle, looking fucking pressed.
Alright, so he was relieved, and then Tav missed the penalty, and he was no longer relieved, and then Raskin missed the second corner that came in, headed it into the side net, and that finished the game. Queen's Park, their fans were great. Decent section there on the away end.
Yep.
Wait till Celtic come calling.
Spiders.
Stayed behind.
Spiders
applauded their team. Big celebration at Queen's Park. So, I mean, congratulations to them. Thought they deserved it. What did they have to say though? Let's see if we can get some quotes here then. So, Callum Ferry won the player of the match. He said, quote, "I'm speechless. I really am. The boys were unbelievable for 90 minutes. They threw everything at us in the last 10 minutes. The boys were cramping up. The tempo was so quick, but the boys stood up to it brilliantly. We've had a bit of bad luck the last few weeks. The results haven't gone our way, but that makes up for it."
Yeah. Oh dear.
I mean, of course it does.
We're about hit 13,000 views in total.
Scottish Football Channel, this, right? So let's actually give Queen's Park their flowers, man.
No, we're not. I think we are. I mean,
No, we are. But you know, it would be very easy for me to spend 20 minutes saying how I want Philip Clement hung, drawn, and quarter. But here, Callum Davidson. He wasn't even on the touchline. He was in the stands. You know what I mean? He still managed better than him. Great performance. You know, took their chances, defended it pretty much immaculately.
Oh my
Goalkeeping was second to none. And I mean, I'm not expecting them to win the Scottish Cup, but beating Rangers, despite how poor Rangers were, Queen's Park have got to fancy their chances of at least getting into the last four.
Depending on the draw. Got a bit more for Callum Ferry. He said, quote, "Tavernier's so good at penalties, he really mixes it up and goes everywhere."
He does that. He really mixes it up and goes everywhere. And I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to end the video when there's still 1,219 people on the live. There has been over 13,162 people on this video tonight. Thank you to everyone who has watched the channel tonight. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We are on 1,124. Trying to get to 22,000 as soon as we can. Trying to get to 23, maybe 24 before the end of the season. And on that note, I really, really appreciate every single view that we get. And I really mean that. And it was good to see a couple of faces on there tonight that we've, Mr. Quinn, it was good to see you on the channel. I know that things have been really difficult for you, medically wise, and everything that you're going through psychologically must be unbelievable. If you still need a chat, get in touch through Facebook, if you just want to have a sound off. Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.